Hello and welcome to the first episode of a playthrough of Close Combat 3 The Russian Front with the Germans in the Grand Campaign. Now I already have a couple of playthroughs out of the remake of this game, both the Russians and the Germans playing through the entire Grand Campaign. But it is my favorite close combat game of all time, so yeah, I'm gonna just go through the non-remake, or if you can call it even remake, but there's some improvements in the newer version, which I'll get to as we see a few of them kind of unfold in their old shape here. We're gonna go for historical campaigns, and Grand Campaign with the Germans. We're gonna call our guy Manfred. I'll quickly go through my options here. I'm displaying all the monitors. I am showing health on team info bars, and soldier outlines is set to show cover. Game speed fast, scroll speed slow, and native languages for all the nations. And in settings, well, I'm calling my commander Manfred, which is the name of the Red Baron from World War I. We have time limit set to 30 minutes, because I think that's fitting for a YouTube playthrough. Apparently the maximum is 99 minutes, or just indefinitely if you go for this. Also set to after taking all victory locations with a 2-minute warning. Difficulty set to hero. As a hero, your side is initially weaker, and when playing a campaign has fewer resources. Realism 100%, and that's it. I'm going to call that playthrough YouTube Germany, YTG. Now what I like to check first is what kind of tanks do I have available, and I can get the Panzer 4D, which is cheaper than the Panzer 3H, which I don't really fully understand why necessarily. I think the Panzer 3H has some better armor, I don't even know, but this is mainly like a infantry support tank. The thing is though, in this game it's 7.5 centimeter gun. Although shorter than the Panzer III's 5 cm, the L42 here is a designation of the length of the gun. So you take the caliber of the gun in centimeters and multiply it by this number here, and then you have the length of the gun. So this is 5 centimeters times 42, and 7.5 centimeters times 24. That's shorter than the Panzer III gun. But the thing is, say you run into an enemy KV-1. The Panzer IV will shoot at the KV-1 and do damage to it. The Panzer III will just flat out say, we can't hurt that, and not even shoot. And so if I could build up with a few Panzer IVs early on, then I will have a better chance of taking on armor later when we get to some of the stages where the enemy is likely to have quite a few of them. So personally I prefer the Panzer 4D until we get some better Panzer IIIs. But that's quite a bit into the future. So we're going to get a Panzer 4D. Then we're going to see we have another 33 points. Can we refit our command team? That's going to cost 6, which would leave us at 27. So there's a little bit different units in this version than the remake, the Cross of Iron edition. I think, for instance, Landschützen here is not a part of the Cross of Iron edition, and the second line infantry is pretty much the same. I think maybe less grenades and such, and called like Ersatztruppen or something like this. We're not going to dabble in those right now. I'm seeing that if we go for rifle infantry here and a machine gun infantry and refit this guy, then we have spent all the acquisition points. Let's just do that actually. So this rifle firebomb dudes has 4 Mausers, the scope Mauser. Also the gun sounds seemingly are different in the remake. Yeah, quite a bit different I'd say. But yeah, there's some changes and differences between the games. Some more noticeable than others. Just kind of depends on what you yourself kind of notice, I guess. I'm not explaining that well at all. But yeah, I mean, we're going to go with this MG34 MG infantry here. Rifle firebombs, and the group leader will now have 2 guys with Mausers to support him. Which is good because the SMGs have pretty limited range, so at the greater distance it could be good to have a couple of rifle dudes along with him as well. But all that being said, let's rename some of our units actually. First infantry, we'll call these guys. And we'll call these guys, oh no, not rest. First MG infantry. First MG team. This will be group leader. We'll rename this guy to Panzer 4D. Yeah, just a little bit extra flavor to put a little bit of a unique touch onto it. That being said, let's get to the battle. So, what we need to do here is obviously take out the victory locations and or force a retreat from the Russians. That's pretty much what you need to do on every map in this game. And we have a couple of hills around here, where we can maybe try to take these hills with our infantry. Or, alternatively, even though the enemy might have an anti-tank gun or something on this map, tanks I've never seen, but anti-tank guns can happen from time to time. They're definitely gonna have anti-tank rifles. And in this version of the game, your tanks seemingly are more susceptible to anti-tank rifle fire and the likes of it. What I'm gonna do though is I'll try to play through this first operation here, which has 3 missions in it, out of 16 operations in the game total, in such a way that we don't take any casualties. And the way I'll be doing that is by just not using my infantry yet. At all. We're gonna roll in with the tank and hopefully be able to win this first map here with only the tank. Now, in this area here, there's typically some anti-tank rifles, also around this area here. So we gotta be a little bit on guard for that and try to keep our front armor towards them, which is no guarantee they won't go through our panzer force, unfortunately. The anti-tank rifles in Cross of Iron edition is substantially less useful, I should say. Just have the fire command ready here in case we run into any rifles, and I just want to be able to click on it real quickly. Another thing that I'm noticing, which isn't really a big deal, but the game seems a bit more, not exactly stuttery, but not as smooth on the FPS, unlike when I'm aiming this around. It's not as smooth as it would be in the more recent edition available on Steam. However, this is the routes it came from. Okay, we got the anti-tank team right here. Somewhere over here. There we go. Don't give them side armor, Panzer 4D. Yeah, I think the AI has been improved a bit in the newer version as well. As you can see, the AI is still terrible in the newer version, so that's just what it is. Alright, we got the anti-tank team. It didn't have any damaging effect on our Panzer 4D, except maybe it did actually. It's now moving fast in red here, and that's usually not in red unless something has happened to the unit. Okay, we got something over here. And we don't anymore. That was a medium mortar team. Usually they would be placed around like in the back lines. That's a very weird place for a mortar team. The Russians are now requesting truce. We're just gonna keep pushing in with our heroic Panzer 4D. And see what else we might run into. It could be anti-tank rifle infantry in this area here specifically that I'm most worried about, but shouldn't really be a problem unless they get some side shots in on us. I mean, also frontally they can do some damage, but there we go, there's something. And there's even more over the, up here. I'm gonna push up on whatever shot at us from there. It could be another anti-tank rifle team. That was the enemy commander. So I'm assuming the tracers I saw coming from here. Yes, it was an anti-tank rifle team. They decided to just shoot once and then back off though. No, it actually wasn't. It actually was not. We got 10 prisoners. So the enemy retreated and left a squad behind us. So that was a some sort of a 10-man infantry with one guy with an anti-tank rifle in it. And yeah, well, when the enemy retreated, they lost their squad. So, okay. We took 10 prisoners, killed 3, and wounded 3. So, yeah. Fairly nice outcome, I would say. on the first battle here. And let's just check our soldier screen here real quick. Here you can see the experience gain, strength, well usually strength loss. When someone gets shot they lose strength. I haven't ever seen anyone gain strength. Morale can go up, leadership, intelligence, all of this can improve. Maybe not intelligence, I'm not 100% sure. Now there's some medals, history for what campaigns the various soldiers have survived through, and who's killed what basically. So the loader in the Panzer 4D killed 4 guys, and they had 5 acts of bravery to their name, probably from charging ahead at the anti-tank teams. With that being said, thank you for watching. You can catch me in the next one. I hope you did enjoy this. If you did, I'd appreciate you considering leaving a like, maybe even subscribing for more content. But either way, as I said, you can catch me in the next one. Have a good one.